Hello, welcome back. In the last video I managed to vassalize the Hausa and I took down Benin and Oyo and actually sold those provinces to the Hausa, which I'm going to diplo-annex later. During the course of this video I'm going to be making my way down the African coast and I may even declare one on Congo if I've got enough time. There's a few things I actually need to mention though before I get started. Basically, I've mentioned a number of times during the Let's Play about demand from resources, I believe, and basically building certain buildings on provinces that have certain resources. I'm pretty sure now that it's not actually the case, for example, in grain provinces or any type of resource. See, it mentions demand at the top, the 5%. Basically, I think you get that no matter where you actually build those buildings. So it doesn't actually matter if you build them here in the granary province anyway. I think, well, it says at the bottom, demand for grain comes from 1,034 provinces. So basically, wherever you build those armories, training fields, barracks, regimental camps and conscription centres, it will affect those provinces for demand as long as it's one of those 1,034. So basically the strategy I've been doing of building armories in grain provinces I'm not going to do anymore because it doesn't matter. And likewise docks in naval supplies places, you don't need to do that. Or there's another one for ivory as well. If I can find an ivory province, where is it? Right, I think I've built marketplaces in these ivory provinces because it says minus 70%. So basically, as long as it's, in the case of ivory, as long as you have a marketplace within those 1,016 provinces, any of those provinces will be affected by the marketplace. The demand will, I believe. So, small change I'm going to be making to where I build buildings then. So if I knew that from the start, I basically would have just built my armies where I need troops the most, or concentrating on which ones would give the most manpower bonuses. So like the 29 ones instead of 21 ones. And the power type buildings for docks, I'm just going to be building those in provinces that I don't have complete control of the trade. So I don't quite have all the control in Ivory Coast, and I don't have control in the Sevilla region, but I do have control in Safi and Marrakesh, for example. So the power will help out there. Right, also with coalitions, I should mention about that. I think now the only way to get a nation to drop out of a coalition is to get rid of the outrage status, or at least the outrage status of the coalition leader. So for example, in the Songhai and the Mali are actually outraged with me. I think the Mali are the leaders, so I'd basically have to get rid of their outrage status to try and get them out of the coalition. You might have to get rid of them all, I'm not 100% sure. And to do that, you basically have to get them to positive relations, at least 0 or 1, I think. And basically, rivals or hostiles tend to stay in longer, but getting rid of the outrage status is the key thing. And one last thing before I start, capitals. Where you place your capital, I put my capital in Fez right at the beginning. I've noticed, you see on the manpower there, for this one for capital city plus 10%. So it is actually quite worthwhile sticking a capital in a place where you have a good base manpower. And my Fez happens to have the most manpower within the Sevilla node, which is basically means it was the best place for me to put it. So I got a bit lucky there actually. Also, it affects how long diplomats and colonists take to arrive or travel from. So basically, if I had a massive trade region, you'd probably want the capital to be in a place where you near to where you're sending your diplomats to, or near to where you're sending your colonists to, if possible. Right, that's a lot to talk about. Right, so I need to get started. Right, so my armies. Do I have maximum force limits? No, I need to buy a couple more units basically somewhere then. So I'm going to do that now. Right, so military units. What do I want actually? I've got 28, but it doesn't tell me which ones they are. So I've got 12, 8, 8. So I'm going to want infantry, I believe. Yeah, right. So, and armory. Right, whether I'll build them in then basically. Oh, one of my armies up over here, so I'll build it in Sagu. Right, so Sagu, 1 infantry, recruit, Muslim dual infantry, and wider likewise. Right, so they're cheaper basically. And what else am I forgetting, if anything? There's no missions. Oh, I'm going to get my explorer back. Oh, and I'm actually going to take this merchant out of Tunisia. I can actually trade through the Sahara now, so I'm going to do that. I think I'll get more money. I was getting 0.10 from this before. Right, so what was it? Oh, I'm going to get my explorer back, and he's in my trade fleet. Which means I'm going to have to quickly send that to the coast. It's been a while since I've recorded as well, so I've been looking at the wiki a bit. It might be a tiny bit rusty, hopefully not though. Right, so got that back. This can protect the trade, which is too severe. Okay. And what else are we doing? We've got 1 colony in the Cameroon. I think I might... Have I got one being sent? Yes, I have. Right. Okay, so I might as well... Right, merchant is back. Need to send him to here. Right, I don't want to go in that way. I want to go in this way. Right, so that's 21, so 0.21, so that's much better than the Tunis one, which is 0.1. Okay, right, I can actually... Oh, I've got my leader. I'm actually going to do some exploring. So he can come down here. Stick that up a bit. I've got Quartermaster, found new exploits. Okay, I think I might have found a trade region now as well. It's not particularly good. Hausa are actually pulling trade into the Ivory Coast for us though. I'll go there as well. Right, I've gained a co-province of Fernando Po and Twat. I've got my... I think I'll keep that there because otherwise it's going to trigger off the natives, and that doesn't have morale yet actually anyway, so... Okay, right, 10 of docks are done. Right, that was exploration that was said about, didn't it? Right, I'll keep that going then. I don't want Defender of the Faith. I think I'm actually going to make some docks in the Ivory Coast region, basically because that will increase my trade power, and I want to be getting them later for the extra naval force limits bonuses. So I think I already have one in St. Helena. Yeah. So I'll build one in Fernando Po. It's going to be expensive. How much is my inflation? Okay, well I should wait until my inflation's back to 0, but I'm going to spend it now. Right, so docks. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trade. So there's one more. 6. Right, so that's basically going to be having a load of extra power there in this region, which will increase my trade. Steal a bit more off the sub-Saharan African nations here. Right, so what else was I doing? Exploring. Right, growth of cities attracts serfs. And we found Luanda, so this is... Right, that's not good. Stability cost modifier until 1536. That's huge actually if we're going to be westernizing, which I very much hope I will be in the next 20 years. So I'm going to... Morale of armies for... Yeah, I'll happily take that. Okay. And new exploits. Luanda. Right, keep exploring. Not going down in attrition. Colonization successful in Abami. Which is... There is it. I think for the inland provinces that need colonizing in Africa, I'm probably not going to wipe out the natives there. I'm just going to wait until I get troops from now on. Basically because we're quite wealthy now, so I don't really need to get colonies quickly and get the money in those areas. Just going to concentrate on going down the coast and conquering various nations, I think. So we found Damaraland, and I think that will do for over there for the moment. Alright, bring that back up to here. Missions, no. I think I'm actually gonna... Right, I've lost a claim on Bure. So I have to get a casus belli on Mali back. How long are these taking? Right, not that long, so I'll do that in a second. Oh, my ships are on patrol, that's no good to me. Okay. Right, yeah, I'll let that repair for a month. Right, diplomat is back from Tunisia. I'll just check. What are these like? Right, I'll do these first and then I'll do Mali. Right, so relations. Won't take that long. The distance basically for these diplomats is how long they take to get there and back. It's based on where your capital is, so that's what I was kind of mentioning earlier. So this is why it won't take that long, because Fez is right next door. Right, so Ivory, Cameroon. Okay, diplomat is back. Dock. Right, all the docks in Ivory Coast are done. So I send my diplomat to Portugal. And that can move over here. My manpower is actually recovering now, so it was good timing for a war basically, which probably declare war on them after I've colonized here. Okay, so natives, they're attacking us. Sort that out. These recovered. Yeah, I'm gonna separate the cogs and the caravels can actually send it to here. I'm actually going to start to find out what colonization is going down here. I know that some is because I've seen the main it's when you start the game you see the main map, don't you? So right, so Battle of Cameroon, and right, so just waiting for Carracks now. Military. Oh, right. So I'm gonna have to recruit a new explorer. I have to keep an eye on my military power here. I'm gonna have to upgrade my military soon. I don't think my piety's quite up, sadly. So I get quite a few nice things here, especially in the well, it's training fields I want actually more than March. I think I've confused the two in some point earlier on. Right, so not diplomat, what do you call it? Explorer. I'll recruit one of those, so that's 50 diplomatic power. He's got no maneuver bonus, so he's really rubbish. A bit of a pain that he died actually before I did the end of my colonization for now. Right. Okay. Again, Azawad is a core. And he reached Cape Verde. I have no idea which direction. Well, I know basically where Brazil is, but I'm not sure of the which sea zones I should be sending it to get there quickest. Oh, I don't have an explorer, so right. So that's going to Coast of Guinea. That's also coast. Oh, right. I'll send it there first. Right, diplomat that can make another claim. I don't think I have any. Right, so covert, replicate claim, and the one I want the most, probably the cheapest tax base I want to take off them if I have to. I'm not sure if I can vassalize them in the next war because they took the Ashanti, so the value of the country would have gone up for vassalization purposes. It might be over 100. I'm going to actually claim this one. That will give me access from the north as well. Right, so fabricate claim, and that is Messina, is it? Okay, so it may take 2 wars now because of that. Right, so this naval. Right, they're in Coast of Guinea. Right, so that is Romanche Gap or Cape Verde approach. I'll try that one, I think. Okay. Timer up. Okay, new exploits. Romanche Gap has been discovered. I've still got a tiny bit of revolt here, so I'm going to keep this army over here. Would actually need an army to help me out colonizing down here, so I could be a bit quicker probably. Right, I think that one. Right, so what's that? That's Coast of Brazil. Sounds there. And that one is. Right, I've got 8% attrition, so I need to. Carracks probably aren't the best ships to do exploring. It's probably light ships because I think they're quicker, but I'd rather have my light ships doing trading, to be honest. They shouldn't die. Right, as you can see here, there's a hint of yellow, so Castile are actually colonizing this area. Right, so we've discovered Brazil. And I'll send them back to repair, and then I'll do a bit more exploring. Okay. Right, I'll put the timer up. Okay, so it's a case of waiting until they're repaired now, and I'll send them back out. See the little hammer symbol. Right, spread of discoveries. Wow, that's a lot. So this is basically all the Muslim tech group has managed to find out about these areas somehow, I believe. So it's basically all of Asia. Almost all of it. Okay. Right. So these are repaired, and I'll send them back down here. Might be quicker to come. I think it's better for me to go on the coast first because I get less attrition rather than explore from an ocean position first, coming from an ocean. Okay. Right, new exploits, Costa Recife and Porto Seguro. I'll actually show, if I remember, I'll show the start screen in the next video so you can see the extent of colonization in the Americas. But right, so which coast of Recife? I can actually colonize that, which is what I'm wondering about. The reason I haven't tried to colonize Brazil mainly so far is because basically it's overseas, so I wouldn't get uh, tax basically or production. I just get overseas tariffs. I don't get that in Africa because my capital's in Africa. And also, it would probably give me more border friction with Portugal or Castile, depending on where they've colonized. So it's a bit risky me doing that as well. Right, let's put that on patrol. Okay, new exploits. Influx of unbelievers. That was lucky because of that. I was about to waste some military power. Right, so I'm going to lose piety. We've discovered Ilus, and that means it's time to actually spend some of my military power. So pike and shot, I get cavalry, infantry, combat with military tactics. I get a new type of infantry, march, and training field. So it's huge, this one. 705. Okay, and I'll upgrade this guy. It's a level 8 guy. And that means I can build some training fields. So I've got to definitely want to do that. Okay. So where is it? Armory, training fields. Right, I can only put them in the places where I've built armories. Definitely want fairs. Get a bit more manpower because of the capital. The extra 10% to the base. And all the rest, right, they're all pretty much 31. Segu isn't actually for some reason. So that wasn't a good place to put an armory. I think next one I'll put it here. And actually, which are the best places for manpower? Because that should be the main reason where you place armories actually. So there's 62 there. 71 there. Well, that's only plus 23. It's because it's a different culture, I think. That's why. It's probably getting a bit less. I think I'll, before I make any more training fields, I'll make sure I've got the armories in the right place. So I'll put an armory. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. They got rebellions going on at the moment though. So I'll put one in the Gold Coast. And yeah, I'll put one there and I'll put one there. Okay. I'll figure out training fields a bit later when I've got a bit more money. Right, so this can continue exploring. Right, we've discovered Itamanaka. Okay, so we've got a claim fabrication done. Right. Right, diplomats back. Should see how my allies are doing probably. Or potential allies. Right, stick this in the Ottomans. I think I'll stop patrolling these and I'll send them back to home territory. The attrition's really starting to kick in. Okay. Right, so I'll just wait until they've recovered now. It's going to be a while. Right, so grain, that's in Bomi. Okay, so Looks as if there's a big war going on. England and Scotland and Castile. Much weakened England now. Okay. Denmark's getting pretty huge. They got land in Germany as well as all of Scandinavia now. Right, so... Right, what's this? We've been embargoed by Portugal. I was wondering if that would ever happen. They should have done this a long time ago, probably. That gives me a casus belli against them, but I don't really need it. So that could lower my trade quite a bit. How much am I getting? I'm getting five odd a month. I could do it back to them if I rivaled them, but I could actually do it to Mali. I think they're my only. You basically get a free embargo. It has no effects on you if you do it on a rival, but I'm not going to do it on Mali because I want them to lose their outrage status to get them out of a coalition. I don't think it's likely though, so maybe I should. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to do it on Portugal because I don't want to end up in a war yet. Okay, that's actually really good because they can't declare war on us for a while. So, how old are they? 8, so we've got about 7 years of breathing room where they can't declare war. Actually surprised that at the amount of times Castile and Portugal have declared war on me. It's only been once each, which would have thought they'd be declaring war on me at least one or two more times. So far, right, so back to exploring. Right, training fields, armory. I'm going to build another training field or two then. Okay. So these are definitely good areas. I think it's a good idea to actually make armories off the coast or training fields off the coast if you can. Basically because you can't build ships and armies at the same time. You can only do one or the other. So, and obviously you can't build navies inland, so only on the coast. Right, so Rio de Oro, these actually are very good for training fields. So do 108. I basically want some in all the areas. I do one over here. So say I had say I needed troops over here. If I've got a training field over here, I could quickly react to it. And likewise in these areas. Right, so I think I'll do that one. Even though it's better to have them inland, I'll still build the training fields on the coast if it's the best place to put it though. Or a good place to put them. Long term I'm going to want armories and training fields everywhere if I've got enough gold and enough diplomatic points. Okay, right, back to exploring. Right, the Ottomans did something or other there, I didn't catch that. Right, so we're back on the coast. Actually explore that way. Right, so we've found Amazonia's Gulf. Found Graupara. I think the Graupara is actually a really important province to take when you're colonizing because there's no land route behind it, it's just the Amazonias. And there's loads of provinces behind this bit, so it's actually a bit of a pain that Castile have taken Graupara because I can't connect this bit to that bit without it. Right, so Rio Grande's discovered. We've got a lot of troops down here as well. Right, colonist. Right, been insulted by the Mali. That's returned from the Ottomans. Colonist rush, that's really useful. Cameroon's actually not almost done, so I'll be colonizing next to the Congo rather soon. Diplomat back from the Ottomans. I'll send it to Mamluks. Improve relations. Okay. They're actually at 200, so I could maybe bring this back. When can I start to annex them? 1522. So I basically have to remember that. I might as well keep him there for now. Diplomat. Don't particularly need it anywhere else. Okay. If I was a European power and I had the money that I had, I'd probably be saving up for an embassy. Actually, I don't think I can build it yet. Might be able to, but... Oh wow. Right, so I've messed up badly here. I'm probably going to lose my ships. Can I get access of steel? Might have to. $50 days, that's probably not going to be enough. Right, so I think I'm going to lose this fleet. Right, so native assimilation in Castile. Right, so Cameroon is now self-sustaining, excellent. They had about 9,000 natives there, so we're going to get a big manpower boost. So it's 1.9 on the base. And an extra bit of tax as well, 3.8. Right, so I'll core that up. Okay, I've actually just realised that I've gone over half an hour. So I'm going to call this an end to the video. And then next we'll basically find out if my explorer fleet survives. And I'm going to colonise Gabon and should be able to claim Loango from Congo and declare war there. And hopefully our Mark eventually dies, but I've been saying that for ages. Right, so apart from that, thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.